Can a Michigan judge that's sentencing somebody for a felony or high court misdemeanor exceed sentencing guidelines? And the answer to that question is yes, they can in some circumstances. Um, there's the OV and the RV. PRV is called. It's prior record variables, which is looks at the defendant's prior record, and then you have the offense variables, which discuss actual things that happened regarding the actual offense that the person is convicted of, and that's what the judge takes into consideration when they sentence people. Those guidelines give a minimum and maximum amount of time somebody can do on the low end of a sentence. So if you're facing a 10-year felony and the guidelines say 13 to 24, that means you'll do at least 13 months to up to 24 months before you're eligible for parole. And that doesn't mean you'll get out at that time, it just means you're eligible for parole. In the People versus Lockridge, which is a fairly recent Michigan Supreme Court case, 2015, it determined the deviations from sentencing guidelines based upon reasonableness. The previous standard used to be substantial and compelling reasons to sentence outside the guidelines. The standard under Lockridge gives the judge much more discretion concerning both the sentence that they want to impose. Deviation from sentencing guidelines now just needs to be reasonable and proportionate for a Michigan appellate court to uphold the sentence outside the guidelines. There are other limitations that a court may have when it comes to sentencing, which include one, the minimum sentence imposed. It cannot exceed 2/3 the maximum sentence. Two, does the defendant have a Cobb's agreement and has not violated the conditions set forth by the court to uphold the Cobb's agreement? The court, under these circumstances, if the court doesn't follow the Cobb's agreement, they have to allow the defendant to withdraw their plea. And then also, a prosecutor and a defense attorney sometimes enter into a Killebrew agreement, which is basically a plea bargain. And if the court is not willing to follow the terms of a Killebrew agreement, then again the defendant has the right to withdraw their plea. So, kind of wrapping this up about what does it mean to deviate from sentencing guidelines to be reasonable and proportionate. Basically, the court just has to provide adequate reasons why they're not going to follow the deviation. The judge has to put this on the record. For example, I watched a judge one time say that this person had been convicted for the same offense 2 prior times, so this time they're going to give more than what the sentencing guidelines called for. Other factors a judge takes is, the seriousness of the offense. Is it really just considering the prior record to give somebody that much time or less time? So those are some areas that a judge is allowed to deviate from the sentencing guidelines based on reasonableness. If you have any other questions, please contact me today at my phone number. My work number is 616-438-6719.